Peace and love, and welcome to Black Diamond Worldwide Outreach. Today we are celebrating Grandparents' Day, and I think it's so great that we can celebrate our generations like that. So we'll talk about Grandparents' Day and what it should mean and how we can, take out lessons from our ancestors and those who have gone before us. Even if we didn't know them, there is a certain legacy that they have left that we continue now in this time, in this period. But there is so much going on this week. The first thing is that we are on the heels of observing 9/11, which 20 years ago in America was one of the worst things that could ever happen. Every year I kind of do a deep dive into 9/11. I'm always watching the videos because I think for all of us, all over the world, not just Americans, we see that humanity that was lost on that day. And I know it touches each and every one of us in a special way. So we are remembering the Twin Towers. 20 years ago, I think we all remember where we were and how we responded. And, we just got to keep praying for our world, healing the people all over the world, knowing that their mind is healed, their bodies are healed, and all is well. Also, this is Suicide Prevention Month. And there are so many initiatives that are out there for people who are thinking of committing suicide, people who are thinking of ending it all. If that is you, I implore you, don't commit suicide. Don't end it all. There's so much more for you to live and be and do on this planet. This is your incarnation. This is the moment, your moment. Live it. No matter the difficulty, no matter the trial, you can overcome, you will overcome. There is no need to end it. Enjoy it. Find the good in it. Like last week we said, what else is true? There is something else that is true other than suicide. And the last thing is that today is National Encouragement Day. So what a great day to do a motivational talk. And like I said, I wanted to kind of combine it with Grandparents' Day as we celebrate Grandparents' Day, at least in America. I don't know about the rest of the world. If you don't celebrate in the rest of the world, I'm still saying happy Grandparents' Day to you if you are a grandparent or know someone who is. We love you and may God continue to bless you. But we can learn so much from our grandparents, from our elders. The legacy that they leave lives on in us. When I look back at, things like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, even earlier than that, when you look at the protests that were going on, the sit-ins, right? You see that our ancestors left us a legacy where they realized this is not what life is, or they had an idea of what life should be, and they protested, they sat in, they did what they needed to do to make sure that we can have a better life, and we have to now pay that forward for the next generation. Another thing I think about is our ancestors also broke the old and limiting traditions of their family, I remember one of my favorite shows is Downton Abbey. I was so glad that it was on Netflix now, and I was watching it for the last couple months. As I eat or, in between things, I put it on. And one of the things I found so weird is that there was this one, the youngest daughter, she had a new outfit, right? And this was back in I believe it was the late 1800s moving into the early 1900s. And her outfit was that, how they wore back in the day, they wore the whole corset with the bell skirts. I'm not good with fashion, but the skirts that came out and they had all this stuff underneath. And her ankles were cuffed. So they almost looked like pants. And everybody was like, oh my God, a woman wearing pants. And I think, I just had to roll my eyes at that one because our ancestors broke so many traditions, especially in the 60s and 70s with the different revolutions that were going on. They said, what, why do we have to live in a traditional way? Why do we have to do these things just because it's always been done? Just because it's always been done does not mean that it's right. right? We're learning that with the Me Too movement, with so many things that are going on. Just because it is the status quo, just because it is the norm, the normal way that things go, does not mean that it was always right. And this is what the legacy, the lessons that our grandparents taught us, that our elders taught us. And when I think about my grandparents, you know, I knew my maternal grandfather, Hilton Williams, everyone knows who he is, and my paternal grandmother, I called her Granny, Josephine Padmore, actually. And, you know, they live on, those were the grandparents that I got to meet. And if you can see right behind me here, this white Bible that is behind me, that is in dedication for my grandfather. And the other, like, red color Bible is one that my grandmother gave me when she asked me what I wanted to do. When I said a minister, I was all like 9 years old. And she said, "You still want to be a minister?" Okay, and she gave me this Bible. So I decided to bring it close. It's usually on the shelf right next to me. This wooden thing is where that white Bible goes into in dedication to my grandfather. So I want to just put them close to me, even though I know that they are always with me. But the one thing I love is the legacy that they left behind, right? Now, my grandmother died in 2000, and my grandfather died in 1994. And the legacy of love that they left, the legacy of joy that they left, it still affects me today. Right? I can go places and people will say, "Oh, you're Hilton's grandson? Come, let me take, you're Josephine's grandson? Come, let me take care of you." So many years ago, you know? And when I think of this, I think, you know, what is a legacy that I am leaving behind in this world? And this is what I want us to talk about today as we celebrate our Grandparents' Day. Not only can we celebrate them, but we can also think for ourselves, what is the legacy that I am leaving behind on this planet? Am I leaving behind my joy, my peace? Am I creating a great legacy everywhere I go? Maya Angelou reminds us of our attitude, of the legacy we leave behind. One of her famous quotes says, "People may not remember exactly what you did or what you said to them, but they will never forget how you made them feel." And we go through this, you know, when we're mad at somebody, we say, "Oh, I'm mad at them." And we go, "Well, what did they say? I can't remember, but I know they had an attitude, you know. I can't remember, but I know that it wasn't nice. I know that it was insulting, you know." We may not remember what people say to us, but we'll definitely remember the way they made us feel. So we have to now think about our future generations, right? We have to now think about how we are affecting, even if we don't have children, we have to think about how we're leaving this world, the mark that we're making on this world that will be seen and left for future generations to come. Webster's defines legacy as something received from an ancestor, predecessor, or from the past. And another definition that I absolutely love is taken from Hamilton, one of my favorite plays besides The Wiz. One of my favorite plays is Hamilton. And at the end, when Hamilton is dying and he's thinking about his legacy, he says, "What is a legacy? It's planting seeds in a garden you never get to see. I wrote some notes at the beginning of a song that someone will sing for me," right? So it's all these things that we're looking forward to in the future, all these things that we're leaving on this planet. So today I implore you, think about what you're leaving on this planet. Think about the people that you're interacting with and how you're affecting them. That if you were to leave this earth tomorrow, what would their impression be of you? How would there be love there? Would there be joy there? Hopefully they will. But if there is something that we need to fix, in no time like the present, to go out there and fix and leave a good legacy. So would you affirm this with me? Put your fist in the air, affirm with me. I leave joy everywhere I go. I leave love everywhere I go. I leave peace everywhere I go. I am creating a great legacy. I am creating a great legacy. And again, this is what I loved about my grandparents. They created a legacy that moved on to another century, another millennium that I can still benefit from. I love this little poem here that says, grandparents are a family's greatest treasures, the founders of a loving legacy, the greatest storytellers, the keepers of tradition that linger on in cherished memory. Grandparents are the family's strongest foundation. Their very special love sets them apart. Through happiness and sorrow, through their special love and caring, grandparents keep a family close at heart. So, again, to all the grandparents out there, happy Grandparents' Day. We love you. I know for a lot of parents, we get mad at our parents, the grandparents, because they let the grandchildren get away with stuff that we would never get away with, right? Because as someone said, you know, grandparents are not the parents that we grew up with, because they are people that are trying to do good deeds so they can get to heaven because they realize how close they are to death. I don't know if that's true, but you know, I think we can all say that we just love our grandparents. We appreciate what they do. So as we think about this, as we think about our legacy, let us also not be afraid to learn, right? Let us not be afraid to learn more love, just because even if you didn't have a loving grandmother, loving grandfather, or parents even, right? We are looking at our generations and we're saying, you know what, I can add more to this. Again, just because it is the status quo, just because it is the norm, does not mean that it is correct, that it is right. So when we're learning to learn to love, we must learn to also function. Are these traditions, are these generational things that are being passed down, are they functional? So not only can we learn something new, but we can also unlearn patterns that no longer serve us. It is about the progression of the family. Every parent says that they want to make sure that they give more to their children than they had. And I think that's the dichotomy that the grandparents look at, just looking at what they gave their children and now what their children are able to give their grandchildren, you know? It is about learning and unlearning what no longer serves us. The great thing about expanding our families is that new generations bring new perspectives, new insights. I think about this when I think about a news team, right? So when a news channel, whatever it is, reporters get a story, they go to the story, ask the questions, and but there are certain people that they keep out of the room, and that's called the red team. So that just in case that first team hits a wall, they don't know what angle they want the story to take, then they bring in the red team, and the red team comes with a new perspective, a new insight. And this is what our new generations are giving us. So you must always appreciate the new generations and know that they are bringing something great and wonderful to our lives, to our existence, to our families right here and right now. Affirm with me, I see love in my family always. One more time, even stronger. I see love in my family always. Because some people in our family are not easy to get along with. We use the excuse that, oh, they're family, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to love them. You're going to bless them. You're going to behold the living God in them. You're going to know that the all-universal force put them in our lives, put them in our families for a reason. And if there is something that we're thinking about our family members, we must always remember this affirmation. I see love in my family always. Whatever you need in your family, see it, affirm it, and be the person to make it happen. Be the person to initiate those new ways of thinking, those new ways of being, those new ways of family in your family. And so you can always boldly say, you know what? I see love in my family always, always, always. Now, this is the month of September, and the month of September is the month of Law and Order. Not just a show by Dick Wolf that comes on every day, and in different sections, but it is actually a faculty that we must work with, right? So Order, of course, is and we'll talk about it for the next 2 weeks that we have in the month, exactly how we can order our lives, but also the law, right? Once we create a law in our life. So that's the question I ask of you. What laws have you created for your life? Because as we are creating laws for our own existence, just like how, our people that are in charge make the laws, you have to make laws for yourself. And as you make the laws for yourself, for your life, what you will accept, what you won't accept, what you like, what you don't like, what you're bringing in, what you're letting go. Once you create those laws, you have to now orderly move those laws into being. Move those laws into practice. Just like how we create a new law in America and it goes into effect. They always say the new law goes into effect, they give you a date. And they give you a rollout. This will happen first. That will happen second. That's the order that we need to put in our life. What is happening next? What are you planning for next, right? What laws have you created for your life? Remember, it's all about your thought. It begins there. But your thoughts become your words. Your words become the cause that you put in motion, because remember, the law of the universe is the law of cause and effect. So as you're putting a cause in motion, you're creating that law. You're creating that law. And I pray today that as you create the new law for yourself, that you set a new cause in motion. Not only a new cause in motion that brings goodness into your life, but a sustaining cause. So that not only are you bringing good, but you are sustaining it. Though no matter what comes into your world, who comes into your world with their drama, with their lies, with their betrayal, with all the negative that other people try to knock you out of that good way, that new sustaining motion that you are giving your life, right? You are saying, no, that is not the law of my life. My law is goodness. My law is greatness. And that goes for everything. We kind of like to separate our connection with God from everything else. But it is about the life that we're living now. It's about the affairs that we're accepting in our life, the people that we're meeting. It's about the jobs that we accept, the jobs that we do in life, whether it's volunteer or salary. It's about the relationships that we're having with our grandparents, our parents, our children, our nieces and nephews, our godchildren, the people on the train, the people in our favorite restaurant. I'm one of those that have a good relationship with everybody in every restaurant that I've ever been to. Now it's so, because I for years now I've cultivated some really good restaurants to the point where I call in and they don't even answer the phone and go, "Hi, this is the restaurant. How can I take your order?" They go, "Hi, Jason, the usual." And I'm like, yeah, So it's all about the goodness that you're putting out, the legacy that you're putting out in the world, in all your relationships. No relationship is separate from another. In your family relationships, your home relationships. Some people are just living with other people just because they need half the rent, right? There is really no love there. There's no respect there. Can we put a new cause in motion? In the transportation we're using, some people are driving what is called a jalopy, right? An old broke down car that every day you go out, especially when it gets cold. During the summer, it's fine. But once it starts to get cold outside, right? You go in and you start the engine, you're praying, please work, Sally, or whoever you named your car, right? Please work, bless your transportation, bless your hair, bless your body, bless your clothes. Put that new cause in motion. Friends, whatever you are desiring in your life, whatever you need in your life, set a new cause in motion. Set a good cause in motion and sustain it every day. It is an everyday job. Because let me tell you something, once you make the decision to change your life for the better, there will not only be people that will try to knock you off that, but there will be circumstances that you think that you have no control over. You'll look and you'll say, how is this happening now? It is for your highest good. So put your fist in the air, affirm with me, I set a new and sustaining cause in motion. One more time, even louder. I set a new and sustaining cause in motion. In my life, in my affairs, in my job, whatever comes up, my relationships, whatever comes up. Because there's certain words that trigger us into moments, right? So whatever is coming up for you, you speak that affirmation. You speak that affirmation, not just because I said it, but because there needs to be a change in your life. Because there is something more that you need to experience and to live in your world. And the best thing about it is a quote from one of my favorite authors and speakers, Brené Brown. Brené Brown reminds us that there is no prerequisite for being worthy. There is no prerequisite for being worthy. In other words, you are worth your opinion. You are worth your reaction. Whatever it is, you are worth that. You are worth however you cope. And it's good to understand how we cope and why we cope, right? When we think about the things like, okay, what am I dealing with in this world? What am I dealing with in my life? What are the things that I want to change, right? Then we get to the point like, is this really affecting me? Am I just coping, just going through the motions of life just because I think this is all I deserve, that this is all that I have, that this is all that I need? How are you coping and why? Why are you coping? Why are you allowing different situations in your life? Why are you dealing with things and accepting things in your world? Does it serve you? Is it bringing good and wonderful things in all areas of your life? If it is not, if you're just coping just to cope, remember that you are worthy. You are more worthy than just accepting whatever people feel like handing you every day. You are much more worthy than that. You are worth your feelings, whatever those may be. Right? And again, when we get back to coping mechanisms, right, it's not a mental illness anymore, it's coping mechanisms. You are worth that. You are worth your reaction. You are worth your feelings. How about this one? You're worth your healing. You are worth your healing. Not, oh, I did this, I deserve this pain, or I'm going through this, I deserve to have a headache. You are worth and worthy of so much more. You are worth your love. You are worth your joy. You are worth your peace. And there'll be people that get selfish, when you say, you know what? Okay, Reverend, I am or Jason, whatever you want to call me, I don't care. I am worth my happiness. I'm worth my peace, right? And then you go to someone and they try to bring you drama and you say, Reverend Jason said, I am worth my happiness. I am worth my peace. They can turn and look at you and say, oh, now you think you are worthy? Remember when they try to bring you into that old way of life? That was the old you. This is the new you. And guess what? If people don't want to hop on that train, bye. I am worth so much more. Always keep telling yourself, you got to look in the mirror and say, I am worth so much more. Someone insults you, look in the mirror. If you're out, go to your car, pull down that rear view mirror. I am worth more than that. I am worth more than the drama. I am worth all the love. So that's our affirmation. Put your fist in the air and say, I am worth my opinion. I am worth my reaction. I am worth my feelings. I am worth my healing. I am worth my love. I am worth my joy. I am worth my peace. I am worth every good and perfect thing. Every good and perfect thing. Nothing can be hidden from you. God has put this all universal force has put us on this planet in this moment, in this incarnation, in this body, in this life, in this millennium, in this year, because we are worthy of it. If we weren't, again, we'd be gone, but we are still here. We are worthy of it. So yes, we are worthy of every good and perfect thing. Nothing can be hidden from us. Nothing can be taken away from us. All is ours right here and right now. So make those fists even stronger when that doubt comes, when that fear comes, when that, oh, but I did this, I don't have the education, and all these things that you're going to say to yourself to talk yourself out of why you're not worthy. Cancel that right here and right now. You are worthy. Fists in the air. I am worth every good and perfect thing. I am worthy. I am worthy. And with a big smile on your face, I am worthy. So if you felt that you were worthless before this moment, that feeling is gone. You're done with that. You're done with those emotions. You're done with those people. You're done with those places. You're done with those things. You're done with those thoughts. Get them out of your mind. And again, it's not easy. It's an everyday work, right? It's an everyday work that we have to do, but it is worth it. It is so much worth it because at the end of the day, it's only us. It's only us on this planet. It's only this moment that we have. Why not make it good? Why not make it joyous? Why not put your life in order in a great and a wonderful way? The last point I want to leave with you today, remember, friends, stay in the light. Stay in the light. Not just the ring light. I love my ring lights. But not just the ring light, right? For Instagram and everything. Stay in the light of consciousness. Stay just like, when I think about like a candle lighting service, right? You light a candle and it illumines wherever you are. It illumines the room. When we think of sunlight, as soon as dawn hits, you see the sun. Everything is illumined. You are that light. You are the light that is bringing new insights, new perspectives in the dark places, in the cloudy places. You are that light. Stay in it. And that means not only light, like a bright shining light, but also light and airy and breezy. You don't have anything holding you down. All fetters are falling. All doubt is falling away. All negation, all whatever you need to release, whatever is holding you down, all burdens, all fears, all griefs, they have been removed by your spoken word. They have been removed by your belief. Stay in the light. Stay in the love. You are leaving a legacy. You are leaving pieces for your family. You are leaving pieces of your family history, and you are also leaving pieces of your legacy. Be kind to your future. Be kind to the generations that are coming up. Again, it doesn't have to be your generation. It doesn't have to be your family. But once we're all gone from this existence in this moment, this world is still going to be here. What legacy have you left? What legacy are you teaching? I always remember from A Raisin in the Sun at the end when, was it Walter Lee? I think that was the character's name. I'm forgetting Raisin in the Sun. Oh my God, that was one of my favorite plays too. But Walter Lee was about to sell out his family, and he told his son, go downstairs and play, because he was embarrassed about what he was going to do. And the mother said, oh no, Junior, you stay right here. Your daddy's about to teach you something that you're going to need to know about. Our kids are watching us. The world is watching us. The atoms that we don't even see in the world, it's all watching us. What are you putting into those atoms? What legacy are you leaving? I hope it's one of goodness, one of love, one of joy, one of every good and perfect thing. Put your fists in the air. The last affirmation today, we will say, I am kind to my future. I am kind to my legacy. Friends, be kind to yourself. Be kind to your thoughts. Be kind to your body. Be kind to your life. Be kind to your relationships. Be kind to everything in your world. Be kind to your life. Be kind to your legacy. And as you do this, not only, again, it's planting seeds in a garden we may never get to see, but we're planting the seed regardless. Plant the seed of goodness. and know that you are moving forward into that which is for your highest good. Happy Grandparents' Day to each and every one who are celebrating, and I hope that you're celebrating with your grandparents. Happy Day of Encouragement. Let's keep encouraging one another to keep on keeping on, knowing that there is something great and wonderful in store for us, not only today, but all days to come. You know I love you. You know that. I'm going to say it again, though. I love you. Be blessed.